our learning target says, I can estimate, measure, and compare lengths using a non-standard unit. I'm going to be modeling this for you under the document camera today. So what you are going to need are your counting cubes. These were a tool that was sent home, and you need to be using these cubes to do your estimating and your measuring. So I'm going to start with a glue stick, and I'm going to measure this glue stick by using the counting cubes. Now, before I measure, I'm going to make an estimate. An estimate means I'm going to make an educated guess. So using the knowledge I have to make an estimate, I need to think about how many cubes will it actually take to measure the long side of the glue stick. Without actually measuring it, I think it's going to take about 4. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to measure it now. So I did my estimate first. I thought it's going to take about 4 because I know how big 1 cube is. So I'm going to go ahead and I need to make sure when I do this, I'm lining it up directly with the end of the item, okay? Otherwise, you aren't correctly measuring it. So we want to make sure we do 1 cube per area. And then I'm going to connect the cube. Again, I'm still keeping it directly with it. So that's 2 so far. Put a third. So now I have 3 cubes. That's close. I said 4. Let's see how close I was. 4 cubes. How does that look? That's pretty good. So I would say the measurement of this is 4 cubes. So the glue stick measures 4 cubes. Let's try another. Here's a marker. Well, the marker was longer than the glue stick, so I'm going to estimate bigger than the glue stick. So I had said 4. Maybe a marker is 6 cubes. That could be right. So again, I'm going to use my cubes and I'm going to measure the marker. I need to make sure that I'm starting right at the edge, at the end of it. So these 2 line up. And then I'm going to connect it. So I said 6. Let's see if my estimate is correct. There's 2. Whoops. And if that happens, that's okay. I just push them back together. 2. Here's 3. 4. 5. Ooh, I'm close. So there's 5, and I'm just making sure that they're still lined up perfectly. 6. So my estimate was 6. I think I could still add on at least 1 more cube. So my estimate was a little off, and that's okay. An estimate is an educated guess. It doesn't have to be right, as long as I thought about it and could explain my thinking for it. I'm going to add 1 more, though. So there's 6 cubes. Again, they're lined up at the end. They're both touching where my finger is. I don't think I could add another cube here. I could. It would be hanging over quite a bit. And so I'm going to stop there. So my measurement for the marker is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cubes. My measurement for the marker is 7 cubes. Let's do 1 more. Now we're going to measure the long side of a book. So I'm going to turn the book this way so we can watch as I measure it. Again, I'm going to start at one end and go to the other end. It doesn't matter what side you start on. Maybe I'll start on this side this time, as long as I make them line up perfectly. Remember, I need to estimate first. So I think, well, this is definitely longer than the marker. I think it's going to be about 10 cubes. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting my cubes out. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, you'll see that I'm making sure they're lining up with each other. That's why I'm connecting the cubes. Now I'm at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So my estimate was 10. Do you think I could add more cubes on still? It does look like I could add more cubes on. Again, an estimate is an educated guess. I knew it would be longer than the marker, so I guessed 10, but it looks like I need more than 10, and that's just fine. I'm going to keep adding until I think we're as close as we can get to the other edge of the book. So we're at 10, so this is 11. And then this is 12. Ooh, that's pretty good, friends. I needed more. So how many cubes did it take? The long side of the book measures 12 cubes. Let's take a look at what your practice sheet will look like today. So again, the learning target says I can estimate, measure, and compare lengths using a non-standard unit. Your non-standard unit is the cubes. 1 cube. And then you'll keep measuring with more cubes. So it says estimate the length of each object. So estimate it first. Then use cubes to measure. So you need to estimate first. How many do you think this is? If you think it's 2, you put 2 here. If you think it's 7, you put 7, and then you actually measure it and see how close your estimate was. Same thing for the caterpillar. Then it says, estimate the length of these body parts. So you can go through and estimate each one first. How long do you think your hand is, your foot, your pinky, your head? Then you're going to measure the length of these body parts using your cubes. Okay, have fun measuring with your cubes today. Remember to always estimate first, then measure.